Now, I've had a lot of requests from you guys to make some of the Belizean dishes a little bit more healthy. So today we're going to do rice and beans, which is our staple food, right? But instead of using long grain white rice, we're going to use brown rice. And I'm going to enlist Joe to help us do this because he's the rice and beans professional. Anywhere that we go, if it's a potluck or anything, people always call and ask Joe, could you bring a pot of rice and beans? He is that good at it. So let's watch Joe as he makes Belizean rice and beans with brown rice. You're watching The Bear Pantry Show. When making rice and beans, we always start with the red kidney beans, and Joe decided to put it in a crock pot today. We're going to cook it on 4 hours on high because remember, I'm not using crock pot brand, I'm using the EuroPro, which actually cooks faster than the crock pot brand. So I guess I should say I'm using the slow cooker. And he puts the beans in the slow cooker for 4 hours with the cilantro, onion, garlic, everything already added to it but the salt and black pepper. So in a little while it'll be ready for us to transfer to put into a pot and then add the other ingredients like the brown rice and the coconut milk and so on. So today, remember, it's not going to be white rice, it's going to be brown. Keep in mind, you guys, that Joe is doing this rice and beans his style, his own version. So this is a pound of beans, and that's what it was done. That's what it looked like when it came out of the crock pot. And he's adding in salt, and he never measures anything. He's just going to taste that to see if it's enough. If it's not enough, he's going to put more. So pretty much the salt is going to have to be to you guys' taste, okay? Remember now, this bean started off with onion, cilantro, and garlic. So now he's adding in the salt and the black pepper. And then he's going to add in the rice, and I think we're going to do it with coconut milk also. So he's getting his black pepper. And unlike me, Joe doesn't prepare when he's going to cook. He just goes to the cabinet and grabs what he needs. Doesn't set things out on the counter and all that stuff. And I don't just do that for the show. That's how I cook normally. Set things out so I can remember that I have all my ingredients and then I don't forget anything. So he's just basically adding salt and black pepper right now. And then I'm going to go get the rice measured and washed so that we can see how much of that he's going to put in. So this is the rice that we're using. And I'm not promoting any special brand. This is just what my sister gave me. It's medium grain brown rice. And Joe is measuring by the cupful. So he's measuring, that's 1 cup already in this bowl. And let's see how much he's going to use. And keep in mind that when it comes to brown rice, you always have to cook it with more water than you would have used if you're cooking white rice, because this is a harder grain rice and it'll take a longer time to cook, so you need more water for it to boil in. That's 3 so far for whoever is keeping count. And then 4. How much do you think you're going to be using? 6? He's going to start off with 5 cups, then add it to the beans and see if it's actually a perfect blend for rice to bean ratio. Let's get it washed. So we picked up where he put 5 cups of the brown rice, and he washed it and put it in the beans. And now he's adding his 1 can of coconut milk. And if you guys can see already, this is a lot of water that's in this pot. I'm going to use, I think he's using the spoon that I use for my measuring spoon for us to measure the depth of the water. We're going to see how much more water he actually has in it. So let's get that spoon dried off so that we can see the actual measurement. So this is my little makeshift dipstick that I did before when I did rice and beans and white rice and so on. So if you notice, the mark is right there that I put in there to show that it's from the tip of the finger to this first line. So now Joe's going to use the dipstick in this pot of brown rice and beans to show you how much more water we're actually going to be using. So let's go, Joe. Dip it in. Now the spoon has touched the top of the rice, not the bottom of the pot. Okay, turn it towards the camera. Lower it. Let's see. See? Now this is our line right here. This is our line right here. And it's that much more. So let's see how much of our finger. Let's measure. So it's actually up to the second line on your finger if you want to etch your new spot on your dipstick and your nylon spoon. And I know this is a crude way of measuring, but I don't know how else to teach how to make this rice and beans, because I'll be honest, rice and beans, when I used to make it before, it used to come out horrible, so I had stopped making it for a while, and then Joe started showing me the water levels and so on, and I figured out a way to measure it. So You see how much more water we're going to start off with? And now we're going to move the pot to the stove, and we're going to get it on very high fire and so the rice can boil. I can't wait for this rice and beans to be done so we can see the quality of the grain of the rice, because you know brown rice has a tendency to get really, really hard if you don't cook it enough. And so I want you guys to see how perfectly cooked the rice will be, and that we won't even know that it's brown rice that we started off with when we're done with this dish. So this is about 40 minutes into cooking of the rice and beans. Joe stirred it once already. I want you guys to see? The rice is cooking, but it's still not cooked enough. So you don't want to stop it at this point at all. So this is our brown rice and beans. You can't even tell that it's brown rice anymore, right? So let's get the lid back on and we'll check on it again in another 20 minutes or so. So look at Joe behind me stirring the rice one more time. This is the second time he's stirring it. It's about, I'd say, an hour into making the rice and beans. We're going to check back in the pot to see how the water level is, if it's cooked out completely or if it still needs to go some more. And he's got the fire on high, and he's got that diffuser underneath the pot. Here's the rice and beans. It came out just beautiful. He stirred it about 3 different times, and he cooked it for about an hour and 45 minutes. But it's made with brown rice. Let me see if I can get in there. See? You can't even tell the difference, right? Here's the finished product on a plate. The rice and beans came out just beautiful. Joe have plantain. He has roast beef that he made on the barbecue grill. He has corn. Man, he's really going overboard today. I don't see any vegetables on this plate. But anyways, I'm going to make my plate with a salad and some rice and beans and some of that beef. But this is the finished product. So did you notice the only thing different we did with this rice and beans is change out the rice from white to brown, and we added more water. Other than that, all the other ingredients are the same. And if you notice, it came out beautiful. Nobody would tell the difference, right? Joe and I are going to pass this off on the kids, and they won't know any better. They hate brown rice. If you cook brown rice by itself, they'll know the difference, but they don't know it when you mix it with the beans. And so we're going to pass that off on them, and I'm going to tell you how it goes when they eat it, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I love you for subscribing. Thank you for picking up the book. And until I see you again, take care.